Welcome to this explainer. I am so thrilled you're here with us today because, well, we're going to tackle something that strikes fear into the hearts of so many people, the speaking test. I mean, picture this, right? You're sitting right outside a closed door. Your palms are sweating, your heart is racing, and you're desperately trying to remember every single vocabulary word you've literally ever learned. It's intense. But when that door opens, you need a strategy. You can't just walk in and cross your fingers. You need to act like an athlete stepping right onto the field. So today, I'm going to be your coach. We are going to completely demystify this speaking test by looking directly at the rules of the game, breaking down exactly what the examiner expects from you, and giving you the tools to just absolutely conquer that test day anxiety once and for all.
So it's a simple question, but man, it's a terrifying one. Are you ready to face the examiner? Honestly, the biggest fear we all have is just freezing up in that room. It's that awful fear of the unknown, like what are they going to ask? How long am I supposed to talk? What if they interrupt me? Or worse, what if I completely forget the English language and just stare at them like a deer in headlights? Look, when the stakes are this high, leaving your performance up to chance is just a recipe for absolute panic. But hey, here is the good news. The test is not some big mystery. It's actually a highly structured, super predictable format. And having a crystal clear, step-by-step game plan, that is the ultimate solution to beating the fear. Because when you know the rules, you control the game.
Okay, let's dive into this. Our game plan today covers Mastering the Speaking Test, Part 1, the interview, Part 2, the monologue, Part 3, the discussion, and finally, your winning strategy. Let's get to it.
Round 1, Part 1, the interview. Okay, so this is the moment you first sit down in the chair. It requires fast, punchy energy. You want to make a fantastic first impression right out of the gate. The examiner is going to kick things off with direct questions. These are usually about super familiar topics. Your life, your daily habits, your hometown. Now, because these questions are so direct, they require a very specific type of response. They aren't looking for some 10-minute philosophical debate here. They're literally just warming you up and establishing your baseline communication skills. But watch out, because here is where so many test takers fall into a trap. The rules explicitly state that you must provide short answers, but you absolutely must not provide just a yes or no. Think about it. If the examiner asks, "Do you like listening to music?" and you just say, "Yes," you're giving them absolutely nothing to grade. You have zero opportunity to show off your English. Instead, you need a short answer. Something like, "Yes, I love listening to music, especially jazz when I'm relaxing in the evening." Boom. It's short, it's direct, but it completely avoids that deadly trap of a one-word response.
Now, what's really interesting and honestly incredibly reassuring here is the timing strategy. You're aiming for roughly 10 seconds per answer. That is not very long at all. The golden rule is just to speak until it feels comfortable to stop. But please listen to this next part because it is absolutely crucial. Don't stress if they stop you. The examiners are on a very strict down-to-the-second schedule. If they interrupt you in mid-sentence, it does not mean you messed up. It just means they have to move on to the next question to keep the whole test on track. So just take a deep breath, aim for those 10-second sweet spots, and let the examiner worry about the clock.
Moving right along to Part 2, the monologue. All right, take a breath with me here, because we're kind of slowing the pacing down now. That rapid-fire interview, it's over. Now it's time for focused, independent concentration. In Part 2, the examiner is going to hand you a card with a specific task and a set of key points you have to address. So you're no longer just batting back quick questions. You are delivering a solo presentation. This requires a totally different mindset. You really have to independently structure your thoughts and pretty much carry the entire weight of the conversation all by yourself.
So let me walk you through the precise timeline you've got to follow to crush this part. Step 1. You get exactly 1 minute to plan. Whatever you do, do not just sit there staring blankly at the card. Use the paper they give you to scribble down your notes and ideas. Jot down those strong vocabulary words you definitely want to use. Then, Step 2. You have 2 minutes to speak. Your goal here is to systematically address the task and hit every single key point listed on that card. And Step 3, and I literally cannot emphasize this enough, do not stop until the examiner stops you. Just keep talking. Even if you feel like, well, I've answered everything, just expand on a point. Give another example. Tell a quick story. If you stop at 1 minute and 30 seconds, you are leaving points on the table. Keep pushing until they verbally interrupt you.
And now for the final stretch, Part 3, the discussion. Okay, time to ramp that energy back up for the interactive finale. You've survived the monologue. And this brilliantly illustrates how the whole architecture of the test works. Notice how Part 3 ties directly back to whatever your topic was from Part 2. So if your monologue was about, say, a memorable holiday, Part 3 is going to be a broader discussion about tourism or travel trends. The examiner will normally ask 3 to 4 questions, but unlike Part 1, they're really going to interact with you here. They might challenge your opinions, ask you to justify your thoughts, or push you to think a bit more abstractly. It feels so much more like a real, flowing conversation than a rigid Q&A session.
But hey, major warning here. Because it feels like a natural conversation, a lot of candidates relax just a little too much. Look at this vital piece of advice. Don't lower the level of your vocabulary and English. Seriously, it is so easy to slip into casual slang when you feel like you're just chatting with a friend. But you've got to remember, you are still in an exam. You need to maintain that top-tier language. This is literally your last opportunity to showcase your mastery of complex sentences, advanced vocabulary, and abstract thought. Keep your guard up for sure and finish strong.
Bringing it all together, your winning strategy. So, we've broken down the rules of the 3 distinct rounds. Now, let's shift gears. We're moving from just learning the rules to actually applying them. Because mastering these 3 specific stages completely removes that paralyzing fear of the unknown. Let's do a super quick recap of your ultimate game plan. In Part 1, you're delivering comfortable, roughly 10-second short answers, and you are strictly avoiding one-word yes or no responses. In Part 2, you're aggressively utilizing that 1-minute planning time to write concrete notes, and then you are speaking relentlessly for 2 minutes until the examiner actually cuts you off. And finally, in Part 3, you're engaging in an interactive discussion while consciously keeping your vocabulary at the absolute highest possible level. If you follow this blueprint, you're going to walk into that room with total, undeniable confidence.
You've got the playbook now. You know the exact rules, the exact timings, and exactly which pitfalls to avoid. But look, a game plan is entirely useless if you don't actually practice it. So I want you to act as your own coach right now. Knowing the precise structure of Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3, how are you going to structure your very next practice session? Don't just practice speaking randomly. Practice the game itself. Set a timer for 10 seconds for those short answers. Force yourself to speak for 2 solid minutes to an empty room. Hold yourself to a high vocabulary standard. Take these rules, apply them today, and you will absolutely master the speaking test. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and hey, happy practicing.